Good evening, everyone. I am Alvin King, your host of He Said, a look at the world from a seasoned Black man's perspective. Welcome to our show. It is Friday, June the 3rd, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe that we are already halfway through the year? Well, we are. I hope everybody had a great Memorial Day holiday and you made it through safely and you are joining us tonight. It is also Pride Month, the official Pride Month. June is Pride Month around the world. So there will be festivities, Pride celebrations, around the world, actually starting this weekend. But I am really, let me say one more really. I am so excited about this show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We have our featured guest is making his debut as a solo artist, and we are thrilled to introduce to our He Said family, ladies and gentlemen, singer, songwriter, musician, Jay Paul is here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He is here, and I cannot wait to share him with all of you. And Vosh and I have brought back one of our better segments, ladies and gentlemen. We are having We See You. Our segment returns, and we are highlighting Black owned and operated businesses. And tonight we welcome Kelly and Mikel Thomas from the Philly photo spot, Selfie Museum. They will be with us tonight, and we are excited about having them. Um, Speaking of selfies, to be honest with you, I love taking selfies, ladies and gentlemen. And if you didn't know that already, and in the whole spirit of taking selfies, I'm sure you're going to see many more of them because I am in my birthday season. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to be celebrating another birthday, and I celebrate birthdays real hard. And this birthday is my 63rd birthday. And, I'm seasoned. Yes, I am. And I'm really looking forward to it. But I wanted to talk to you tonight, real quick, about, when I do share my age with people, that sometimes, they look at me and they look at me with this element of surprise. And on one hand, I'm flattered by it that they don't think that I look my age, but I also don't see what they see. So the next question is, what do you do? What are you doing? And so it's really nothing. I thought about it. I try to eat right. I exercise. I'm under great doctor's care. I go check on my health regularly. But the one thing that I didn't share with them is that I am in touch with my inner child. And for those of you who don't or haven't experienced that, for me, my inner child is that it brings me joy, just like any child. I get excited about things. I take risk. I live unapologetically. If I see it, if it looks the way it looks, I say it. If it feels the way it feels, I respond to it that way. I honestly live in an area of love because I'm in touch with my inner child, and I think that is what people see when they see me. So for those of you who have emailed me and always ask me, what am I doing? I'm not doing anything, out of the ordinary, except I am in touch with my inner child. So my recommendation to you, ladies and gentlemen, on this show tonight, please get in touch with your inner child. Love yourself unconditionally. And in the spirit of my birthday, love lives here 2022. So speaking of love, I'm ready to bring on someone who means the world to me, ladies and gentlemen. He is my co-host. So welcome to the He Said stage, Mr. Vash Bodhi.
Hey, Alvin King, you mean the world to me too.
Hey,
I,
Vash Bodhi. Hey, Vash Bodhi. How you doing, man?
I am doing all right. It's always good to see your face.
Likewise, likewise. I decided tonight I wouldn't wear a hat because, look, I have a fashionista, okay, on the show tonight. So you know what? I said, no, Alvin, you don't wear a hat tonight because this guy is just like I said, he reeks fashion to me. And so he's going to be on the show tonight, Mr. Jason Paul. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited.
Absolutely. The style and the fashion is always popping with him.
Always popping.
Yes,
Hey,
indeed.
look, for this chat, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I have to mention this because we briefly mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, but when we mentioned it, it was only one. What we talked about was the shooting at the Tops grocery store in
Right.
Buffalo, New York.
Right.
That is what we talked about. But since then, at the the Top store in Buffalo, where 10 people were killed because some racist person was targeting Black people. Then we've had this shooting in Uvalde where 19 students and 2 teachers were killed. And then just yesterday, this is when it really hit me because I have a family of doctors.
Mm-hmm.
And to think that someone would go into a hospital and kill their doctor or a surgeon because of how they felt, it just put a sunken feeling inside of me and said, I don't know where we are in this world, but we have to find a place of love, because it didn't really hit me until I heard that on yesterday, the way it hit me.
Right.
Yeah. So, I haven't talked to you about it, so I want to see how you felt about that, Vash.
Well, let me explore how you're feeling. Like, what is it that got to you?
Um, I didn't feel fear until now. I know anything can happen to us anywhere, anyhow, anyway.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel fear until yesterday, until I started thinking about my family members.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm not on here boasting about my family members being doctors. So whoever's listening to this, that's not where I'm going. Where I'm going with it is I love my doctors. I love the who take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
And to think that somebody would feel like they're not getting the just due or treatment that they want, and you go out and buy a gun and you go and take someone's life, that scared me. And then there were 3 people in that hospital that were innocent. They weren't even a part of, they weren't affiliated with the doctor who was killed.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot going on. People, I mean, there's just a lot going on, right?
Yeah.
Like we can do a whole show about what's going on.
Yeah. What's going on, baby?
Right? It gets no
Yes.
more timely than that. But uh, I just don't understand why people are going out and being so violent to other people.
Right.
If something is going on that you're not able to process, you need to find a way to process that.
Yes.
Eat ice cream like most of us do.
Right.
Like do something that is self-reflective or involves the self. But the going out and doing these mass murder things is, well, it's played, first of all, because people have been doing it for too long. Like, get something new,
Right.
But yeah, like it starts to make you feel like this can happen anywhere at any time to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot. But as George has said to us, we need to live, we need to love, and we need to laugh. I just want to make sure, George, that you saw, we saw you, and what you said, it could be no more timely than the right now. I'm with you, Alvin. It's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why being here with you is so special every Friday,
Mm-hmm.
because what we tend to do is bring people together that help us manifest love in all forms on this particular show. So,
Come on. I couldn't agree with you more. And first of all, hi, George. Hi, Monica. How are you guys doing? Hello, everybody out there who's watching us tonight. Well,
yes.
In the midst of sharing that, I am happy to say that our show tonight is truly about joy.
Yes.
I cannot stress that enough. The J. Paul experience is everything. I've been following him. I've been listening to him. And to have him on the show is really special. So if you all are ready, ladies and gentlemen, I'm prepared to get this show started, because we have questions that we want to ask him that we know you want to know. Okay. And I want you to meet him. Yes.
Before we do,
Okay.
there's one person who I said I was going to give a shout out to,
Oh,
someone who found us on YouTube after we had Cy Smith on, Miss Lynetta Alexander, who has started following us on our YouTube page. She said she thought that we were hilarious and was so glad she discovered us on YouTube. And I told her I was going to give her a special shout out. So hi, Lynetta.
Thank you. And Lanetta, thank you so much. And please share us with your friends, Lanetta.
Yes,
Tell them
indeed.
that we are here. But thank you, Vash, for letting me know that. That's
Yeah,
always good. And yeah, I was also telling backstage, I was telling Jay Paul, I think I met a few new friends because we have him on the show tonight. So
exactly.
if we can get on, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to bring on someone that we have been waiting for a while, ladies and gentlemen. Singer, songwriter, musician. Jay Paul views his music as a conversation between friends, families, and lovers. Originally from San Diego, California, Jason Paul now calls the DMV his home, and merging West Coast swag with an East Coast grind into a musical sound and experience uniquely his own. From traveling the world as a young gospel artist to performing as a featured backup vocalist with the living legend Stephanie Mills, to now as a solo artist taking center stage, vocalizing his powerful soul-stirring male soprano vocals on his new single Dream On. He said, family. Please join Vash and I as we welcome to our stage tonight and prepare yourselves as we introduce to you the J. Paul Experience.
That introduction.
Snaps and claps, snaps and claps. Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you, Alvin. That was great.
Welcome.
I do my live album. You're it.
welcome to our show tonight. And you're wearing that hat, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Okay.
Thank you, man. That's what it's about. It's always about a good piece.
Well,
you have some style. I have to just
that's
tell
how
you
pass the plate. Okay. So look, we're going to get started because we have a quite a few questions that we want to ask you. So I'm going to kick it off by first again saying good evening and welcome to the show. And if you could just take about 60 seconds to tell our viewers, who is J. Paul?
J. Paul is an artist. He's a creator. He's a thinker. He's a brother. He's a son. He's a husband. He's a musician. He's a student. He's a lover. He's a friend. He's a spiritual man, but he is the class clown. Multiple different things that all make up our experience, in the world, my experience through life and how I've navigated it, and finally kind of channeling in that music side, bring it both together. That's me.
Sounds like like there's a little J. Paul in there too.
Oh, don't you get me started.
keep little J. Paul close, okay?
Yeah, I was having that conversation yesterday about little J. Paul and how I'm growing him up. There's levels to maturity, and you look back at your old trauma and try to figure out like why I'm triggered and why is this triggering me. Now it's like, okay, now that I understand it, let's grow you up a little bit.
Come on.
Because I'm grown, but I need you to meet me halfway.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a process, but I'm happy that I'm aware.
Yeah. Wow, you sound like you are speaking my language. Well, since we just finished talking about little J. Paul, I want to take a moment to give a major credit to your mother, Miss Carolyn Anderson, for your vocal abilities, of which you've said, which allowed you to begin singing at the age of 3.
Yeah.
Tell us about that journey with your mom from then to now.
So the first song that she had me sing was Dear Jesus, I love you. You're a friend of mine. You supply my every need. My hungry soul you feed. I'm aware you are my source, from which all blessings flow. And with this thought in mind, I know know just where to go. And you know what? I have that album right here.
That's
Yes,
Love Alive.
yes.
Love, that's it.
That's what I grew up on.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
And I was blessed to have, I am blessed to have my mother. She saw a gift in me at a very young age. And she wanted to see it in all her children. She wanted all of us to do music. I have two older brothers who play the drums. I have an older brother that can sing. It's not really his thing, but he does have the ability. And then I have another brother that's just really sweet. He's just a great person.
You can't sing.
Real sweet.
I was trying not to laugh on that, but go ahead.
And so, with her seeing it in me at a young age, my mother was the minister of music over the youth convention in the Church of God religion churches of the world. And so she put me up, my son. And it was times where I'd be like, Mom, they're calling you. She said, I know. You about to get up here and wear these people out.
All right.
I don't necessarily want to feel like doing that. I mean, there were times when my mother would be doing workshops in different states, and she would fly me in early just so that I can sit in rehearsals. And then when she got there, she would say, okay, so what's the sopranos doing? What's the altos doing? What's the tenors doing? So I had to be aware. So now when I'm in music, when I'm in the space, when I'm in a vibe, I'm aware of everything that's going on, you know, because that's how I was taught. And so it's funny because my mother recorded her first album while she was pregnant with me.
Oh, wow.
First and only. Yeah. While she was pregnant with me. And it's taken me in my post 2020 life now to really sit with that body of music and dissect it. And to hear all the little things in her voice and not just know the song, but to actually like really listen to the music and zone in. And it's been very fulfilling. It's been reaching back to that little boy, Jason.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's amazing because they do say play music for your child when it's in utero.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that had anything to do with your musical ability?
Oh, absolutely. And my mother produced her album. So she didn't just sing. She is a classically trained pianist.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's been a minister of music at churches since she was 12.
Wow.
And so to be the leader musically everywhere you go, and then finally get to lead your own sound. Meanwhile, you're pregnant with your fifth child, a little over being pregnant, right?
Right.
But she always says that all things work together for the good, because she was like, I couldn't have known that me doing that was going to produce you as a child.
Wow. Why did that just take me back to the Clark sisters for some reason? It just took me back. And I just had a moment. I got chills just now listening to you tell us that story. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, it seems you've gotten so much from your mom, like in utero and her teaching, but you also identify as a student and you're at the School of Berkeley Music. Yes. What are you studying?
Everything that I can.
Okay.
Everything that I can. So my mother, for maybe about 3 years, she tried to do piano lessons. And like I said, she tried to do it with all her sons. I think by the time she got to me, she was like, he don't feel like learning the piano. He can sing though. Just stand right here. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was like, I don't got time for all that. I got to go, work and do. Right. But I know you can stand right here and do what you're supposed to do. So now it's actually bringing me back to that seat. So I started off with musical theory and just music theory 1, just learning how music works, how it was created. I went from that to ear training because I'm a listener. I like to listen to music. I try to see it, but it's better if I listen. So just trying to lock in that with the theory side. And it taught me so much. Shout out to my teacher, Miss Roberta Radley. She was amazing. I went from that class to a songwriting class. And all of this happened while I was creating my album. And so I had never written music before. It always was prophesied to me, you're going to write music, you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. And I had never sat down and wrote anything other than just coming up with different arrangements for music that's already been written. And so going through that class, being pushed to write, it kind of helped me learn how school is going to teach you, hey, this is how you create an idea. And then also how I know how to create music as well. I was able to bridge those two together. And the last class that I'm in currently right now is music production. It is kicking my butt, but it is worth it. It's a whole new world. Words I've never written before. You know, things I've never things I've never done before doing now. And it's dope. It's really dope.
Taps into a whole side of you that you didn't know it existed, right? Oh,
Right.
wait a minute. Wait, excuse me. Okay, Mark Angel. He was on the show last week. Hey, Mark. Stepping in to say hi to my friend Jason. You already know I'm proud of you. He's happy that you stepped into the spotlight with all of your talent. You're the one who heard Seraphim while I was making it. And I'm so happy to finally get music from you, love. Always love and light. See you at the top. Thank you, Mark.
You,
Now,
Mark.
see, that's love.
Yeah, that's true love. I really appreciate that.
That's love. That's love. Wow.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, we're going to talk a little bit later about where you started behind someone else. What is that the expression? 3 steps from the spotlight. There was a documentary about all the background singers. We're going to talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But you've learned so much at the Berklee School of Music that's affected your music. How would you define or describe the music that you make right now, or your artistry? I mean,
it's for everyone. So I'll let you guys know I'm so excited. And I knew I had to do it. I knew that to end this semester, this class, this music production class, that I was going to have to create a song from the ground up. I knew that. And I went to my brother / manager / music maker / genius, who I'm just able to have a very close-knit relationship with, Jimmy. And I said, I'm going to create a choir song. And he was like, yes. And I was like, good. Like, I just need that energy. Like, yeah, that's right. He was like, yes, you're finally getting back to you. And I said, okay. And I've created the whole song. Me and Jimmy have created the whole song, and it has no music.
You've just written it.
And I write it when I'm traveling with Stephanie. I'm on the plane and I'm listening, and I'm like, okay, this is where we should go. And it's not even that I'm thinking about someone singing it. It's just about it getting it out of me. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm blessed to be a part of STEM's music company. And we have a band of singers. And they're not just singers. They're all leaders in their own right. They all lead at their own churches. They all are artists independently. But everyone has the same vibe. We all have the same spirit, and we all come together. And when we're together, there's no stopping us. So I'm getting a couple of my closest friends, and they're all just waiting. They're like, we're waiting. Come on, let's do it. And I'm like, yeah, y'all. I'm sending it to one of my brothers that plays with Stephanie. He's going to help me create, and then we're going to sing it. And I'm like, I just want to see what it's going to be.
Well, you're talking to a choir boy right here, okay? Because the one thing, again, speaking of COVID, it has taken me away from my choirs. Yeah. And so to hear that you're going to do a song and it's going to be a can I officially say it's going to be a gospel?
Yes.
Okay, it's going to be a gospel.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait. Okay, I'm sitting on my tambourine waiting for that to break free. But I am going to switch gears just a little teeny bit because I need to make reference to this because you are such a complete package to me, and I want to talk about your dope fashion aesthetic. I've been watching you, and so fashionably speaking, for me, it's like Rudy Ray Moore, Dolomite meets Billy D. Williams meets Richard Roundtree meets Andre 3000. What about the 70s that attracts your artistry to that era?
Man, the 70s had some of the best vibes,
Yeah.
some of the best music, some of the best liberation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that whoever you were in your community, you were just that. You weren't trying to put on for social media. You weren't trying to compare yourself to someone else day in and day out. You just knew who you were and you just walked in there. You put on your bell bottoms, you put on your boots, you went out with your boys, and y'all either was singing on the corner, having a good time,
Right,
or you were doing something that helped your community.
right.
It was all about community.
All about it. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I remember walking down the street and having my parents, asking my parents, well, why are you speaking to everybody? He goes, because I never know if I might be related to them or not.
Mm-hmm.
There was this sense that, we are all connected.
Yeah.
And that word community is really important. And community takes a bunch of individuals, not a bunch of people trying to be like everybody else.
Yep.
Right. Exactly.
And that reflects in your style, because I don't see anybody rocking your style.
No.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's something about being from the West Coast and living in the vibe of the East Coast. I think I just have a freedom that comes to me naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Being born and raised by the water and by the beach. We could go out to church in flip-flops and be okay.
Right.
And so now coming to the East Coast where dressing is a thing. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I got to bridge these two together. I got to be myself, but I got to pull that thing up. I did not look like this when I first moved here, y'all.
Oh, for real?
Well, then so where's your style coming from? Who styles you? Who picks out your clothes when you go on stage versus when you're just like everyday?
My little brother, Stefan, he
is this the one who can't sing? Who doesn't sing?
No.
the nice one.
No, he is not a singer, but he is everything else. He is the person that gets the singer ready for the stage.
Okay.
Yes.
He is that guy.
We love that guy.
Then since I met him, his commitment and his loyalty to me, even when I was just performing at the local open mic, he still treats me today like he treated me back then. Wow. And whether it was, okay, I'm calling him like, I got to sing, I got a gig. I've always been about a village. I'm a Leo, as you can.
Okay.
I'm a Leo.
Okay.
And we're all about the pact, all about the village. And so when I go sing, I have to have my singers with me because this is a vibe. And I will call Stefan like, okay, so we got to sing. I need a cohesive look. I don't need it to be too much because this is just an open mic or it's just, a local situation. And give me a day, brother. And he'll have something outlined for me. And I just order it because I'm always on the go. So I'm like, I ordered it. We did a photo shoot that people won't even realize it's going to be my album cover. We did it right in my house.
Well, you are dope. You are
let's go,
I need some of your looks, and so I might have to contract your little brother. So I'll talk to you about that later on, okay? Because he believe me, he has taken your style to another level. Okay, so I just needed you to talk about that. Yeah,
I appreciate it. I love it. I love putting on my clothes. See, I love Little Richard.
Yeah. Okay.
And Little Richard said that it's time to put on your things and go. When they asked him, "Do you wear makeup?" He said, "Yes, I wear makeup. Just like you toast your bread or you put sugar in your coffee, you're supposed to do it. Yes, it's called doing your own thing time." What is there not to love about that?
Yes, yes.
It's
and
called
that was
doing your own thing time. I'm doing my own thing in my own time. Don't worry about me.
well, it's done. Okay, stick a fork in it. Okay, it's done.
I
All
love
right,
it.
all right, all right.
So
So, oh, go ahead, Vash. I'm
no,
sorry.
you go ahead.
No, I was since we Vash mentioned it earlier. I just have a question about, since you have been traveling with the living legend Stephanie Mills since 2015 as one of her extraordinary team of background vocalists. What takeaways have you learned being on the road with Stephanie?
Just
Miss Mills.
a moment for how beat she still is today. I want y'all to know that she still beat like this. I mean, what can you say?
Yeah.
What can you say about someone who's done it all, who was very close friends with the greatest entertainer of our time, and they look at you and see something? That for me gets me emotional. I get choked up because it didn't have to be that way.
Right.
You know, it's that simple. It could have been another way. There are so many gifted and talented singers and musicians and creators out here. And God chose my path to align with Stephanie's. And I'm a student with her day in and day out. Since I first got the call about 8 years ago, I got married in January. My husband moved, I think maybe 2 or 3 months later. And then 2 or 3 months later, I started traveling with Stephanie, and I've been on the road ever since.
Wow.
And the first call, I really want you guys to know, I thought this was just, hey, we need you to come fill in, learn this music real quick, and, you know, just step in.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. I knew Never Knew Love Like This before, but I did not know her catalog. At that time, I really hadn't had a deep dive into music like I do now. And so on the way to the gig, my husband was like, "You don't know that song, Putting a Rush on Me? You don't know that song, I Feel Good All Over?" And I'm like, "'Cause I never knew love like this before." That's it. And now, y'all, I cannot get enough of her. If I started pulling out all of her records right here, I could talk to y'all all day long. She had an album with Burt Bacharach.
Right. Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
You
She
know what
was,
I'm talking about?
Yeah.
she was the first person that I saw. I talked about, for my birthday, I'm going to see every play I can in the month of June. She was the first person that I saw on Broadway. First
And so
person.
many of us have that story.
Yeah.
First person. First person. She's the reason I love Broadway.
Reason.
She's the reason.
Sometimes when I hang out with friends, my musical theater friends, and we get a little tipsy, we start playing I've got the best clip on YouTube of somebody singing, and I always win with the little bootleg clip of Stephanie Mills singing Home on Broadway. I always win because she just rock. I mean, yes, you know exactly which clip I'm talking about. Just she rocks. She's amazing. So what have you learned from her that you use in your music or in your performances?
Sing your songs every day. She said, "You want to know why I'm never caught off guard? Because I'm always ready." I sing my music every day. And I'm like, you're right. The way that her voice is conditioned for her music is like none other. And I had been, you know, in the background for so long, just kind of watching her. Maybe after, I would say, 2 years of just singing, I started doing her hair because I'm a hairstylist by trade as well. And that connected us. My mother's birthday is March 20th. Stephanie's birthday is March 22nd. So when I talk about how God has orchestrated my life, it's literally like little dots. And I'm like, oh, now I can finally connect them. Now it makes sense. Because coming over here to the East Coast, other than my friends, I wasn't really that connected musically. And then all of a sudden, through my friends, Stephanie drops in my lap. And so after post 2020, and I did a live EP, and she came, and it was just everything for me. And she called me when she was leaving, and she said, "You're ready." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "No, no, 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 I'm serious. You're ready." So she said, just, have someone ready to come in and do what you do because you're ready to go. Okay. And after I created the album, it was like maybe 2 or 3 days after I was with her. We flew right to Cancun. And I said, "Mom, I have to let you hear the album. It's done." She was like, "Okay." She was excited. But when I finally sat her down and we started listening, and I told her, I said, "One thing that you taught me, it's cool to sing everybody else's music.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But when you have music of your own that you can always pull out the bag, now you can start creating your own experience. I'm not recreating someone else's experience." Right. Because you've already had an experience with Purple Rain, and no matter how good I sing it, you're thinking about Prince.
Right.
I can sing Earth Song all day long, change the key and change the arrangement, you still gonna know it's Mikel. Yeah. And so being with Stephanie taught me you have to create your own sound. And that's been my goal.
Well, I think you've knocked it out of the park because as I listen to your is Sexification your debut single?
Yes.
Okay. Sexification is a musical masterpiece. Okay. I hear music very well. It is a musical masterpiece. Briefly tell us what that track is about and what song from your record best describes your mood today.
Okay. So Sexification was the last song we completed of the album, but it was the first track that I heard before I heard any other track. I loved it. My producer, shout out to D Bryant in Atlanta, the greatest. He played it for me and the team. Me and my Stems family, Monet and Jimmy, and my brother Russell was with us. And I loved the track. And I told him, like, want that. And when you're in the studio, you're just listening, you're vibing. And this was our first time creating musically. So he's figuring me out. We're figuring him out. He's listened to my EP, but he's still trying to pinpoint, cool, you did a lot of other people's music. What's your sound? Right. And so we kept that track on the back burner, created the whole album in about 5 to 6 days. And a line, it's literally going back to the 70s and the 80s where we're telling a story. Every song flows into the next. You don't want to stop it. You want to say, "Oh, wow, this is a story that we're singing here." And after everything was said and done, we said, okay, now that we finished my music, I'm creating a sound. I'm trying to write for everybody else now. Now that I can call myself a songwriter, let's go. Yeah. Me and Jimmy started the first verse and chorus of Sexification. And we're so hyped about it. We're trying to figure out who can we give this to. Chris Brown, Tank, all these names are being, thrown out. And we played it for some of our producer friends. Everyone kept saying, "No, that's your song." And I'm like, no. This is to shop around. We're writing this for somebody else. Who gonna sing that, Jason? There's so many people out here that can sing it. Yeah, but you have such a distinct sound that once someone hears this as a track for somebody else, they're gonna assume that it's gonna be you. Right. And I've learned it don't take me more than once or twice to hear it. Right. I don't have to wait for the rocks to cry out for you to know that this is for me. Right. And because I've spent so much time in my life pushing other people's experiences, pushing their ministries, pushing their agendas, Now, when God drops something in my lap that He's like, "No, bro, this is for you," I'm like, "Yep, it is," and I move on.
Right.
It's for you.
You know what I mean? Because it's okay. I'm learning that that's okay. It could be for you, and you be all right. It don't have to always be for everybody else.
Well,
And so,
sexification is the bomb.
thank you, Alvin.
You got good people around you to make sure that you didn't, you know, go away from that song. That song is perfect for you. I cannot wait until everyone hears that. Yes.
It's the time. It's the time. And my song that I would say is my mood right now is called Waves.
Yeah.
And it starts off with Stephanie's voice. And it's a voice note that she left me on my birthday last year. Just saying, good morning, baby. It's your day. Enjoy your day. Think of everything that's golden, rubies, and just think of good things. And when she heard it, it's the second song on the album. She said, "Is that me?" I said, mm-hmm. She was like, wait. Actually, start the whole thing from the jump. Now that it's in context, I told her, I said, "Yeah, girl, I told you I was making music. I'm making music here."
I can't wait to hear. I want to hear the whole album. First of all, just on the release date, I need to be in line or wherever I need to be, whatever release party, I need to be front and center.
Absolutely.
Okay. And bring about 6 people that I need to.
Absolutely. Please bring them all.
I need to be there.
Bring
Thank you.
Yeah. But Waves it's a great song. My husband wrote it, and he's now coming out as a artist. He's a writer. He does poetry, and this is kind of his season where he's like, okay, what does little Christopher want to do?
Right.
And he's now approaching little Christopher and big Christopher and pairing it through writing, and it's beautiful. Sometimes he sends me poems, and I could have 5 different songs just from one poem that he sends me, and it could be gospel, inspirational, R&B, country, rock. And my husband is 52, so he's of a different generation. So when I say 70s and 80s, he's like, I was there. And I'm like, great, because I want to know, give me the information. I wasn't there. So please give me the information that I need to create music that bridges that gap, that connects what's happening today with the message of, this is what was going on in the community, bridging the community. So,
well, see, that's love right there, to be, co-writing music with your husband. That's a whole nother show topic that we need to have you back on to even explore and to talk about. But it sounds beautiful. We are about to close and have a couple of more questions for you. So I'm going to give you my last question. What song can you say has had an impact on your writing and total musicianship?
The last song on my album is called "Wait for Me." It's a very personal song. And it really just talks about when you meet your destiny. Like we've been talking about this whole show, when your past you meets your present you, and both of those are excited about your future you. And the song says, I had to wait for me until I can see the many things that I can be. But I can't get there until I get there. Wait for me until I can see the many things that I can be. And I will get there. And I wanted to end it on a proclamation. Something positive, speaking over whoever hears this album, that you will get there. It's a journey, but you will get there.
That is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. So Vash, do you have another question for J. Paul before we go? Because we will be bringing him back, ladies and gentlemen. But
yeah, I mean, we just have to have you back because there's just too many things to talk about. So how do people find out more information about you?
You can go to the jpaulexperience.com. On IG, I am at jpaul86. On TikTok, the J. Paul Experience. My YouTube has all past performances. And that's Jason Paul Entertainment. And I'm out here in the airwaves. Get at me.
So if people go to the J Paul Experience, they will be able to link to everything else about you, your YouTube, your IG, etc.
Absolutely.
That is amazing. That is so fantastic. I hope everyone goes out because it really is an experience.
Family, get on it. Get on it. Well, J Paul, first of all, thank you for blessing us and our show tonight with your artistry and conversation. We really appreciate you, man. And ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere because we're going to do our second segment of the show, but we're also going to end the show with a performance that J Paul has provided for us. So don't go anywhere. But J Paul, we will be bringing you back shortly. Thanks again.
Absolutely.
Thanks again, man. All right. We will talk to you soon. Thank you. Oh, Vash, wasn't that incredible?
I just love him. I love his energy. I love his style. I love the inspiration that just flows through and from him. It's really amazing.
It's really cool. Well, you know, we've been wanting to do this, Vash, and bring back our second segment of the show, We See You. And so we thought that we would just have to travel a little bit. So for our second segment, we
I didn't have to travel too far. As a matter of fact, this is one of the segments on We See You where I actually saw them and I was like, oh, I like y'all. We have to have you on the show. And it's taken, I don't know, it's been almost a year, maybe a little more than that from the time that I first saw these two to having them on the show. So I guess as J. Paul just said, when the time is right, wait for you. It'll come together. This is what this is. So
truly, truly, truly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going up north to the city of brotherly love, ladies and gentlemen, and that's Philadelphia, y'all. If you don't believe in the phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words, this mother and son partnership will prove you wrong. The company has been recognized by the Philadelphia Inquirer as the one-stop shop when you visit Philadelphia. Please welcome to the He Said stage tonight, the owners of the Philly Photo Spot Selfie Museum, Kelly and Mikel Thomas, ladies and gentlemen. Hey.
Hey, y'all.
How y'all doing? Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me? Oh, look, welcome to the show. First of all, I said mother and son, and I'm still tripping. Now, I opened the show talking about how people always stop me and say things like, you know, when I tell them my age, they look at me. I'm sitting here looking at Kelly and Mikel. I'm looking at you two going, twins.
He wish he looked this good.
Y'all are hilarious.
Well, thank you all for being here and for joining our show tonight. So I'm going to kick it off by I'm going to throw it out there, and either one of you can answer the question. What was the initial idea and inspiration behind coming up with the Philly Photo Spot?
Yeah. All right. So our original idea was, I was looking for a photo studio at the time. I'm a photographer as well. So I was looking at a place that have a photo studio, and we were looking to also incorporate the everyday person who wants to take normal selfies, or just a person who doesn't have the ability to even buy a studio or even get their own studio, who can also use a studio as well for their own needs as well. So it was the way to bring all of that together in one, and we came up with Philly Photo Spot.
Brilliant.
Totally. Now, for people who have not been to the Philly Photo Spot, will you give us a brief description of what it actually is?
Yeah. So what it is a photo studio and a selfie museum all in one, and an event space. So you can do professional headshots, graduation pictures, baby pictures, maternity pictures, product branding, as well as you could do selfies, content creation, podcast, or even have a party, or even a pop-up shop for vendors.
Well, we have some photos of some of the images that that people have taken that you shared with us from your studio. Well, do you call it a studio?
Yes.
Yeah, it's still a studio.
because it's larger than life. You know what I'm saying? I'm a selfie guy, so my phone is with me all the time. But you've taken that to a whole nother dimension for me that I cannot wait to drive up to Philly. Okay, Vash is getting a visit from me because of y'all. I just want y'all to know that. Okay, so I just want y'all to know that. So, what is it like working with mother and son? What is that? What is that like?
So sometimes, well, it's interesting. It's like, well, first, it's Mikel's first business. It's my second one. So for him, it's like the super business crash course, right? And for me, it's like, okay, this is fun, and I think I know business, but photography is not my angle. So I still have to defer to him for photography. So I think it's a really good partnership where we're able to pull off each other's strengths and then kind of know and still grow in business together, which is fun.
Wow. And you, Mikel?
It's interesting. Like she said, we both come from different backgrounds. So I'm more of a creative type of person. She's more of business mindset. So it's trying to make me more business mindset and make her more creative at the same time. So we do butt heads, but it's fun at the same time in all love.
So it's a glow and a grow situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, I'm feeling that. Okay, I like that. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So it was kind of a bold move for you guys to like open up in a mall situation versus having a storefront. What fueled the decision to do that?
You want me to go? All right, cool. So it was, I know. So first, Vash, let me tell you that when you came to see us, you actually saw our first location. We've moved. So since then, we've actually doubled in size. So when Vash came to see us first, we had a store on the first floor, and it was about 4,500 square feet. So we just moved upstairs into the other side of the mall, but now we have 9,000 square feet. So our space has actually doubled in the mall.
Oh my goodness!
So you can sit 3 or 4 or 5 of my houses inside your store.
I'm just saying.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Is that a mic drop? Okay, get into it. Okay, get into it.
A little bit.
So much has changed.
Wow.
And I don't think that people really understand what it is that you may have.
Sure. So the way I describe it is a photo studio on steroids, right? So when you think of a photography studio, or maybe the old photography studios, like a Picture Place or a JC Penney's or something like that, you go in and it's like a regular white background. So obviously you see a white background in the back of us here, right? Cute.
Right.
But with these, we have these big, some elaborate built out sets. And our sets will range in size based on what it is, our mood was when we created it. So they can go from as small as 3 feet to as big as 15 feet. Wow. And I'm talking 15 feet wide, maybe 10 feet tall, right? So think about it as something big, something that you can kind of sit in and immerse yourself in. And it's like sitting inside of a picture, but it's a museum. So there are over 20 different backdrops that are here that people can come and play on, take pictures on, make content on, and just really play with. And everything is touchable. So, you can touch everything in here, which makes it super fun and super cute.
Well, do you have stylists there, other photographers there? How does that work? Say if I came in there and I'm clueless, I just know I want something. Okay, let me see. I come in there with a theme. My favorite color is orange.
Well, I'm gonna let you go for it. So we work in 2 separate ways. So first, we work as a Selfie Museum, which means it's basically a do-it-yourself photo studio. Okay. So you're sitting right now, and you may have a ring light around you or something like that. And for anybody who doesn't know what a ring light is, it's basically just a light of ring, right? I mean, a ring of light that shines light on your face while you're taking a picture or anywhere, right? And we'll give you one of those, and we'll give you a little remote control, and it'll connect to your phone. And then we give you an hour to go ahead around, just like a museum tour, walk around and take your own photos. Now that's one option. The second option is you use Mikel as a photographer, or you can bring your own photographer. So if you let Mikel take the photos, then it's a different kind of experience. He's not playing on a cell phone. He pulls out the big dogs. He pulls out the big camera and really goes to work with the, super professional studio lighting and all of that great stuff. And then your pictures are professionally retouched and sent to you that way.
Oh,
nice.
It's like the wowfactor.com.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm a selfie guy. So that whole experience for me, I cannot wait to come up to Philly and experience that. And I really mean that, because I think it's an amazing idea. So I am looking forward to that. Are there what else is next for the Philly Photo Shop?
Next is expand and move into different malls and open in different states. You know, just branch out and open a bunch of them everywhere and have them like not just Philly Photo Spot, but also bring a taste of Philly to each different city and also incorporate that city into it as well.
Is DC on the map?
Yeah, DC on the
map. Hey, don't play because I need you to be on the map.
It's just a quick trip down 95. Why not?
Well, okay, but I am coming to see you. How would people get in touch with you?
So they get in touch with us either through Facebook, Instagram, we're on TikTok as well. So everything is just all Philly Photo Spot. And also you can use the website. We have a thing on there where you can DM us or send us an email and we always get back to it. So everything's just straight phillyphotospot.com. Yeah, just right there. Philly Photo Spot, Instagram, Philly Photo Spot, TikTok. It's Philly Photo Spot everywhere.
Facebook. Yep.
Well, this is Vash hit a home run because as soon as he told me about you guys, I think the scheduling piece, because you guys are busy. Okay. So it ain't like you guys are busy. So the scheduling piece, I was like, are we ever going to meet them? So it just feels great to have you here and to promote your business because it's fantastic. So congratulations to you.
Thank
you.
Wow.
Just a bunch. I mean, like you can see why I fell in love with them. Their energy is so amazing. The spot is just so fantastic. I mean, all the different vignettes are so colorful. They are so inviting. And, you know, you truly help people make their social media dreams come true because in an hour, you can create enough content for yourself to last at least a month or two.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you're always changing your content. Who comes up with the different vignettes that you create?
We do.
Wow.
We do. So not only do we create, you know, we come up with the ideas, but we actually put it into motion. So we have built and constructed everything that you see here. Well,
we painted every set, put every flower, every prop together, and made it perfect.
Well, you got some love over here. First of all, you know I'm going to acknowledge you, Tara. Tara's on here. Tara loves you guys. And then I think I'm going to pronounce her name right. Latretta Williams. I see you, girl. That's right. I hope you're there when I come up because I'm coming up to see the Philly Photo Spot. I'm coming up there. But thank you all for joining us tonight. And don't go anywhere. If we could have, you know, our featured guest, J. Paul, back on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. We just want to thank all of you for joining our show tonight and giving us an opportunity to share a moment with you. We really do appreciate you. And we have a little closing that we do every week. We have our words of the week. But before I do that, next week, ladies and gentlemen, on June the 10th, now I know they're celebrating the Queen's Jubilee over in Europe, but next week we're going to have the Empress of Pride here next week, ladies and gentlemen. Racine Pendarvis will be here on our show. Legend. Okay, legend. Racine will be here, ladies and gentlemen, so please tune in. The words of the week this week is stay original and true to yourself because you can only give the best of you when you are you and not someone else. And that is a quote by Tabsili Ledwaba, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to close the show out real special. J. Paul has blessed us with a clip from his new album. The song is called #, the letter U, the number 4, capital M, small e, U for me, ladies and gentlemen. So if we could let the clip play, ladies and gentlemen, this is the J. Paul experience.
Let's go.
Just you trust me.